Good evening. You're watching the news tonight, your daily roundup of all that has happened across India and the world. I'm Ishan Russell, and these are the headlines that we're tracking this evening. Amid strained ties over the fallout of India's NSG membership bid, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi meets Prime Minister Narendra Modi and counterpart Sushma Swaraj. Both sides hold discussions on issues of mutual interest. A day after the all-party meeting on the unrest in the Kashmir Valley, political parties react to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's remarks, stating that Pakistan should answer for atrocities in Balochistan and Pak-occupied Kashmir. Has the US election been decided? 4 latest polls show Republican nominee Donald Trump losing ground in 3 crucial states ahead of the November 8th general election against Democrat Hillary Clinton. And Michael Phelps' golden run at Rio sees an abrupt end, manages just a silver in the 100-meter butterfly final. The American swimming ace says he will not compete in the 2020 Games in Tokyo. Our top story this evening: on a 3-day visit to India, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi today met Prime Minister Narendra Modi and External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. The two sides talked about regional and bilateral issues.
Amid strained ties over the fallout for the NSG membership bid, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi met Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday. Wang Yi is on a 3-day visit to India to hold various bilateral and multilateral talks. The two leaders held discussions on issues of mutual interests. MEA spokesperson Vikas Swarup announced the meet between the two leaders on social media, a morning for neighbourly engagement. Both sides decided on a mechanism of foreign secretaries to discuss political issues. Besides this, the DG of disarmament divisions will discuss issues relating to nuclear supplies group. After meeting the Prime Minister, Wang Yi met his counterpart Sushma Swaraj. Issues relating to the annual BRICS summit to be held in Goa this year and issues of mutual importance were discussed during the meet.
हमारी मुलाकात अनेक बार हुई है और हर बार की मुलाकात के बाद हमारी घनिष्ठता भी बढ़ी है और बातचीत भी बहुत खुले तौर पर हुई है और बहुत से जटिल मुद्दे आपस में सुलझाने में हम कामयाब भी हुए हैं.
The meetings come against the backdrop of China, along with other nations, playing an important role in stalling India's entry into the NSG. China claimed that not being a signatory to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, India could not be a part of the NSG. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, security was beefed up along the border areas of Jammu and Kashmir on Saturday ahead of Independence Day. Meanwhile, unrelenting curfew by the authorities and the protest shutdown called by the separatists crippled the entire valley for the 36th consecutive day.
Security forces in Kashmir are on alert ahead of the Independence Day celebrations, a day after the central government held an all-party meeting to discuss the recent unrest in the valley. Authorities barricaded Srinagar's commercial hub of Lal Chowk, and there was heavy deployment of forces in the markets and on the roads. Barricades were put up and barbed wires were laid out on roads in sensitive areas.
Issues को मद्देनजर रखते हुए deployments वगैरह किया गया है, security arrangements किया गया है.
Curfew remained in force in the entire Srinagar district and Anantnag town to thwart separatists' plan to stage a 2-day protest in the city centre. Separatists have also issued a fresh protest calendar extending the ongoing shutdown till August 18th. Dozens were injured in a crackdown on protesters after the Friday prayers across the valley. Meanwhile, normal life remained affected with schools, business establishments and private offices remained closed and public transport staying off the roads. Mobile internet services continued to remain snapped in the entire valley. The death toll in the ongoing unrest has climbed to 56 with the death of a youth injured in firing. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And a day after the all-party meeting on Kashmir, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi blamed cross-border terrorism for the tension in the valley, reactions continue to pour in.
You respond to what is happening in Gilgit area, what is happening in Balochistan, what is happening internally within the so-called Pakistan also. Focus on that and then don't try to create problems because your approach of creating disturbance in India is not going to help you in long term. It will boomerang on you. Already at some places it has affected you also.
हम अमन के पक्षधर हैं, अमन की हम पूजा करते हैं, लेकिन आतंक को हम किसी तरह से बर्दाश्त नहीं करते.
We have suggested that government should open up dialogue with all stakeholders, and let us see what government is going to do in the coming days.
It's the first time ever that an Indian Prime Minister has expressed his wish to support Baloch people, and I think it's a very crucial decision made by the Indian government, and we hope Prime Minister Modi will play the same role Miss Gandhi played in 1970s and 71. Baloch people share common interest with India. We are secular and we also believe in democratic principles. It is high time for India and other democratic countries in the world to come forward and support Baloch people.
Naval divers on Saturday located the wreckage of the second bus that fell into the Savitri River near Mahar in Rajya district of Maharashtra. The MSRTC bus had fallen into and was washed away into the Savitri River after the British-era bridge it was travelling on collapsed on the 2nd of August. The wreckage was located around 400 metres away from the collapsed bridge site on the busy Mumbai-Goa highway. On Thursday, wreckage of the first bus was retrieved approximately 117-200 metres from the collapsed bridge. So far, 26 bodies have been recovered and nearly 14 are still missing or fear dead. 2 state transport buses and some private vehicles fell into the swollen river following the bridge collapse on the highway. Some more national news stories now nationwide. A constable was killed and another injured in a gunfight that broke out among policemen at the police stations in Assam's Karbi Anglong district. Contrary to media reports that the station was attacked by militants, the superintendent of police said that primary investigations showed that firing followed a fight that broke out among the policemen. A minor girl who was gang raped near Bulletin last month moved the Supreme Court demanding an FIR against UP Cabinet Minister Azam Khan. The minister had given a controversial statement that the gang rape could have been a political conspiracy against the UP government. The girl also demanded the transfer of the case to New Delhi, a court-monitored probe, and security and rehabilitation for her family. The CBI registered a fresh case against businessman Vijay Mallya and others for alleged irregularities in repaying a 1,600 crore rupee loan taken from the State Bank of India. The SBI is leading a consortium of 17 banks that have given loans to the now defunct Kingfisher Airlines. The agency has already filed a case of alleged loan default by Kingfisher Airlines to IDBI Bank. Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Approximately maybe 40% of the under 5 children are undernourished. The type of food that you take, and second thing is your physical activity also. That is something which has become a casualty in this modern day life. It is a question of moderation that needs to be adopted by the people to have a healthy lifestyle.
Watch Eureka with Dr. P. Uday Kumar, Senior Deputy Director, National Institute of Nutrition, only on Rajya Sabha television. The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. Time for some sports now, and India will hope for their first medal at the Rio Olympics from shooting and tennis today. Mixed doubles pair of Sania Mirza and Rohan Bopanna are just a win away from securing India's first medal. In shooting, Mehraj Ahmed Khan is still in the fray for the semi-finals in the skeet event. However, Gurpreet Singh bowed out of the qualification stage of 25-meter rapid-fire pistol category. Singh finished 7th with a score of 581, missing the qualification by a whisker. In athletics, Lalita Babbar qualified for the finals of the 3,000-meter steeplechase event after finishing 7th in the heats. Babbar finished the race in 9 minutes 19.76 seconds. However, Sudha Singh failed to qualify after finishing at 38th place. Babbar, though, set a national record. Meanwhile, Indian women's hockey suffered a humiliating 5-0 defeat in their final group game against Argentina. The women ended the Rio campaign without a win, managing 1 draw and 4 defeats in their 5 outings. Sania Mirza and Rohan Bopanna will play their mixed double semi-final match today. The duo will take on the American team of Venus Williams and Rajiv Ram. If India win, it will be assured of at least a silver medal. A loss will mean they have to fight it out for the bronze medal match. Now let's see what's been happening on the overall game scene. And on day 7 of the games, Joseph Schooling of Singapore denied Michael Phelps his 23rd Olympic gold and secured his first ever Olympic gold for his country by winning the men's 100-meter butterfly stroke. In athletics, Ethiopia's Almaz Ayana smashed the world record in the 10,000-meter race. Here are all the results from day 7.
Michael Phelps was denied a 23rd gold in his last individual Olympic race as Joseph Schooling won the men's 100 meters butterfly to secure Singapore's first Olympic gold medal. The 19-year-old remained in control of the race and won by 0.75 seconds from the trio of Phelps, South Africa's Chadley Klaus and Hungary's Laszlo Che, who all tied for the silver in a dead heat.
New best time in the Olympic record. It was a real thrill to swim against Michael and all those guys,
Meanwhile, American Katie Ledecky completed a rare individual treble by winning the women's 800-meter freestyle in a new world record time. The 19-year-old, who had earlier won the 200-meter and 400-meter freestyle, took nearly 2 seconds off her own world record to win in 8 minutes 4.79 seconds, nearly 12 seconds clear of the rest.
I have to wait 4 more years to have that moment again, and I wanted the last one to be something really special.
In tennis, Spain's Rafael Nadal and Marc Lopez won the gold medal in the men's doubles event. The duo defeated the Romanian pair of Florin Mergia and Horia Tocău 6-2, 3-6, 6-4 in the final. This was Nadal's second Olympic gold, as he also won a gold at the Beijing Olympics in 2008.
A double break lead in the first set.
In athletics, Ethiopia's Almaz Ayana smashed the world record to win the Olympic 10,000 meters title, blowing away the competition in one of the greatest ever long-distance races at the Games. Ayana dominated from the start and finished the race in 29 minutes 17.45 seconds, 14 seconds quicker than the previous world record. Bradley Wiggins fired Britain to the track cycling team gold in a titanic final battle with Australia. British rowers also had a good day as they bagged 2 more gold medals.
Hats off to them, because I think, to be fair, they're the reason that we trained as hard as we have. They're the reason we get up in the mornings. It was all about the Australians. They took team pursuit into a new level the last few years, and without them we wouldn't be here, and that was reflected in the final tonight, probably one of the best finals ever.
In women's football, Sweden knocked the United States out of the tournament, beating the defending champions 4-3 on penalties in the quarter-final. In the overall medals tally after day 7, the United States maintained the #1 spot with 50 medals that includes 20 gold, 13 silver and 17 bronze. China stood at the second spot with 13 golds, while Britain jumped to the third spot with 22 medals that includes 7 gold, 9 silver and 6 bronze. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, Argentina's star striker Lionel Messi announced on Friday that he wants to return to play for the national team, reversing his decision to retire earlier this year. In a statement, Messi said he wished to continue playing for his country as he preferred to help from within. He's been named in Argentina's World Cup qualifier squad less than 2 months after retiring from international football. Messi quit after Argentina's Copa America final defeat by Chile in June. He missed in the penalty shootout as Argentina lost a fourth major final in 9 years. Messi's only major international honour is the Olympic gold at the 2008 Beijing Games. The forward, who's been awarded the Ballon d'Or for the world's best player 5 times, was also on the losing side against Brazil in the 2007 Copa America final. Time for another quick break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Amritanshu Rai and you're watching Constitutionally Yours.
Article 371C is a very special provision, as you said. It only exists for the state of Manipur.
Provision is very special, particularly taking into consideration the hill area.
The members are more concerned to their political party rather than the interests of the hill people.
The struggles of Meiteis to convert them into the STs. Does it really deprive the right?
Do the Meiteis require reservations now at this point of time? That is a debate.
Join us as we try to understand contemporary issues related to the Constitution. Watch Constitutionally Yours on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. Now, the race for the US presidency seems to be tilting towards the Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. Opinion polls have started showing Hillary extending her lead against Republican rival Donald Trump. Commentators are already speculating on what could be the decisive turns of Trump's campaign that will spell his eventual defeat.
Ahead of the US elections in November, opinion polls are shifting the momentum behind Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. 4 latest polls show that Republican nominee Donald Trump has lost ground in 3 crucial states ahead of the November 8th general election against Clinton.
As president, I will stand up to China and anyone else who tries to take advantage of American workers and companies. And I'm going to ramp up enforcement by appointing, for the first time, a chief trade prosecutor. I will triple the number of enforcement officers, and when countries break the rules, we won't hesitate to impose targeted tariffs.
Trump is certainly not helping his cause with his unfiltered speaking style that has repeatedly landed him in hot water. In the latest incident, Trump on Friday told rallies in Altoona and Erie that his remarks earlier this week calling Obama and Clinton the founders of ISIS, as Islamic State is also known, had been sarcastic.
It's like I told you about, sarcastically. I mean, you had to see these news organizations yesterday when I said Obama, right? Did you see that? That Obama is the founder of ISIS. He's the MVP. They're going to be giving him the MVP award, and she's right there next to him. And you had to see, and they left the MVP stuff out because then you'd know. But you had to hear, did he mean it? What does it mean? We have 9 panelists tonight.
In a surprise appearance, Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus, who in private expressed fury over some of Trump's actions earlier this month, introduced the candidate at campaign events in Erie and Altoona, Pennsylvania, where the two shook hands on stage.
Now, speaking of regulation, before I speak of regulation, Reince, I want to thank you. Where's Reince? What a great guy. Reince, get over here, Reince. He has done, thank you very much. Reince has done such an amazing job, and they portrayed him slightly inaccurately. Reince, come here for a second, please.
Trump went on to blame the media for blowing out of proportion what had been a sarcastic comment. Trump first made the unfounded claim on Wednesday and repeated it through the week.
And we have to call up law enforcement, and we have to have the sheriffs and the police chiefs and everybody watching, because if we get cheated out of this election, if we get cheated out of a win in Pennsylvania, which is such a vital state, especially when I know what's happening here, folks. I know she can't beat what's happening here. The only way they can beat it, in my opinion, and I mean this 100%, if in certain sections of the state they cheat, okay?
Nearly one-fifth of registered Republicans now want Trump to drop out of the race for the White House, according to a Reuters Ipsos poll released on Wednesday. Trump has been mired in repeated controversies in recent days. He drew heavy criticism after he suggested gun rights activists could take action against Clinton, a statement he later said was aimed at rallying votes against her. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the United States has claimed some big victories against the Islamic State, including the killing of the terror group's chief in Afghanistan. Hafiz Saeed Khan was killed in a drone strike in Afghanistan's Nangarhar province. Meanwhile, the Syria Democratic Forces have also been able to free the city of Manjib from IS forces. Residents of the border city were jubilant as they celebrated their newfound freedom.
شو حاسة؟ الحمد لله فرحانين أخوي فرحانين كيفين الحمد لله أنا خلصت من محمد الحمد لله.
The people of Manjib jubilant over the ousting of Islamic State militants from their city. The city near the Turkish border with Syria had been under IS control, forced to suffer the terrorist group's extremities.
هون كانوا يعدموا الناس ويعلقوا رؤوسهم هون ويخلوه 3 أيام.
شو اسم هالمنطقة؟
هاي اسمها دوار السفينة. هاي دوار السفينة، كل دوار حطوا صليب. إذا أي شغلة إذا كان بحجة إنه كفر بيحطوه بيقتلوه بيقطعوا راسه. بيعدموا الناس هون وبيقتلوهم وكله إعدام وكله ظلم كله ظلم 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 ليوم الظلم. والله بريئين من الدين والله. الإسلام وكنا عايشين بالإسلام وعايشين على الفطرة، هم جايين يعلمونا الإسلام.
The ouster came after the Syria Democratic Forces, with heavy air support from the US-led coalition, intensified their fight for the city, where a small number of IS fighters were holed up. Over 2,000 civilian hostages were released as the Allied forces took over. But there are thousands more who have been taken hostage by the fleeing militants to be used as human shields. The conquering of Manbij will give the forces better conditions to move on to Islamic State's de facto capital of Raqqa. Meanwhile, the Pentagon has confirmed that the head of the Islamic State's branch in Afghanistan, Hafiz Saeed Khan, was killed in a US airstrike last month. Khan was also a former Pakistani Taliban member. It is unclear how many others were killed and if that number included civilians in the July 26 strike in the Arjan district of Afghanistan's eastern Nangarhar province. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Some more international news now on Global Buzz. Russian President Vladimir Putin has replaced his longtime ally Sergei Ivanov as Kremlin Chief of Staff a month before parliamentary elections. The new successor, Anton Vaino, is a low-profile former diplomat. While some analysts called it a sign that Putin was nervous ahead of the elections, others said that Ivanov had been looking to quit for some time. Brazil's Supreme Court announced that August 25th was the date for the final impeachment trial of suspended President Dilma Rousseff. Expectations are that the trial will last under 5 days, although allies of interim President Michel Temer are seeking to reduce this period further. 54 votes are needed for Rousseff to be impeached and permanently removed from office. Malaysian police today arrested 9 people with suspected links to the Islamic State. 2 of the arrested are believed to be involved in a bombing at a nightclub in June that injured 8 people. The suspects were unavailable for comment and it was unclear whether they had legal representation. In the US, 6 people died in Virginia when a small private aircraft crashed at the Shannon Airport. The plane was attempting to land but pulled back up at the end of the runway. It immediately caught fire when it struck the trees. All 6 bodies were recovered from the burnt wreckage. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Now, Cubans are celebrating the 90th birthday of their leader, Fidel Castro, today. What makes the celebration stand apart is that the state as well as the common man are part of it in equal measure. Here are some of the glimpses from this grand party. Thanks so much for watching. We'll leave you with this.